what is the humanities, really? Have you ever wondered what are the humanities? Not the dictionary answer, the real one. It's a familiar word, but if someone asked you to explain it, you might pause. Most people say, philosophy, literature, history maybe, not wrong but not quite clear either. Let's start with the textbook definition, the study of human culture and thought, including fields like literature, history, and philosophy. It sounds accurate, but also a little vague. So today, let's try to define the humanities in more human terms. Not just as a field of study, but as something we live. The word humanities comes from the Latin humanitas. It means human nature or what it means to be human. In ancient Rome, it referred to the cultivation of one's mind and character. But what makes it different from science? Science explains how the world works, how stars are born, why water boils, how viruses spread. It's about discovering facts, objective truths through experiments and laws. But the humanities? They don't look for answers. They search for meaning. Why do we live? What is a good life? What is justice? What is love? These aren't questions with simple answers, but they're the questions that shape how we live. Take war, for example. Science might explain war through economics, geography, or human aggression. But the humanities ask, is violence part of our nature? Can empathy prevent conflict? These questions lead us to philosophy, to history, and to literature where emotions are felt, not just studied. And you might wonder, that sounds deep, but how does it help me? That's a great question, because asking that question is the beginning of the humanities. It's about asking why. Let me share a story. At Harvard, a study has followed people for over 75 years, trying to understand what makes a person truly happy. Their finding? Not wealth, not fame, not even perfect health. The single biggest factor was good relationships. Connection, the space between one human and another. That's what the humanities study, not just in books, but in everyday life. A quiet thought during a walk, a meaningful conversation, a scene in a film that lingers in your heart. We meet, we remember, we regret, we love. And in trying to understand these human moments, we become students of the humanities. To sum it up, if science changes the world, the humanities help us live in it with depth, with dignity. And that, at least for now, is something even AI struggles to do. Today's quiet insight, the word humanities, comes from Latin humanitas, meaning humaneness, or the essence of being human. Since ancient times, people have asked not just how to live, but how to live well. So, what question have you asked today? The moment you ask why, you've already stepped into the humanities. In the next episode, we'll explore how the humanities differ from science. Not in subject, but in the way they ask questions and the values they seek. Hit like and subscribe, and let's keep asking together.